Imagine this. You're sitting at home. Your phone is beside you. Silent, harmless. Or so you think. Now imagine every message you send, every photo you upload, even your late night searches being quietly mirrored somewhere. It's not by a hacker, but by the very people who are meant to protect you. Sounds like a movie, isn't it? But what if I told you it is not fiction? It's law, or at least a version of it. Let me tell you a small story. A friend of mine once called me late in the night. He was panicked. He said, Jerry, I think someone is reading my messages. My phone's battery drains overnight. My call drops suddenly. Is this even possible? And you know what's interesting? He wasn't paranoid. He didn't even know that he was part of an investigation. Not because he said something wrong, but because someone he knew was under watch. That's the thing about digital surveillance. It rarely knocks before entering. And when it does, it doesn't always tell you why. So, today, let's decode the big question. How do we know if a police is tracking our phones? And what does the law really say about it? Here is where the law begins to unfold. In India, police just can't start listening to your calls because they are curious. They need a legal sanction, specifically under Section 5, Subclause 2 of the Indian Telegraph Act of 1885. This section allows interception only in cases of public emergency or public safety. But here's the catch. The power to authorize such tapping isn't given to any officer. It lies with the Home Secretary, either at the central or state level. That's the official layer meant to protect us from casual surveillance. Now, let's go to some case laws. In the landmark judgment, People's Union for Civil Liberties or PUCL versus Union of India, a 1997 case. The Supreme Court said something very powerful. Telephone tapping is a serious invasion of privacy. It must be exercised only under strict conditions. The court has also laid down safeguards. First, a review committee must oversee all interceptions. Number 2, orders can't exceed 60 days unless renewed. Number 3, any reasons for interception must be recorded in writing. Sounds fair on paper, right? But here is where the digital world complicates everything. Because tapping no longer means plugging a wire into your phone line. It means access to your data, your metadata, your digital shadow. And that's far more personal than a phone call. Under the Information Technology Act of 2000, Section 69 empowers the government to intercept, monitor or decrypt information for reasons like national security or to prevent crime. But again, only through proper authorization. Still, when surveillance becomes digital, detection becomes almost impossible. Now, here's a dilemma. The one that keeps me awake some nights. How do we balance safety with privacy? Because let's be honest, we want protection from terrorism, cyber fraud and trafficking. But we also want to live without feeling being watched. It's like living in a house with glass walls. You're safe, but are you really alone? Let me ask you something. If your phone is being tracked for investigation, but you've done nothing wrong, would you still feel safe? Or would you feel violated? That's the thin line the law walks every single day between security and surveillance. Courts have recognized this too. In Justice K.S. Puttaswamy versus Union of India, a 2017 case, The right to privacy was declared as a fundamental right under Article 21. The judgment reminded the government that the state cannot intrude without due process and necessity. But due process, that's the tricky part. Because in emergencies, who defines necessity and who watches the watchers? Alright, let's get practical. Can you really know if police is tracking your phone? Honestly, no. If done legally or covertly, it's nearly undetectable. But there are few signs that might raise suspicion. First, rapid battery drain or overheating, even on standby. Number 2, unusual data usage spikes. Number 3, echoes or clicks during calls. Number 4, random restarts or apps opening on their own. Now, I'm not saying every glitch means someone is watching your every move. Sometimes it's just a bug or a system update. But if this happens regularly, especially if you're involved in sensitive cases, activism or journalism, it's worth being cautious. You can also first check app permissions regularly. Number 2, avoid suspicious links or attachments. Number 3, use verified encryption based communication apps. 4, file an RTI to know if any surveillance order exists, though the response may vary. Remember, awareness is your first defense, but when you understand the law, you can stop fearing the shadows. Now, coming back to my friend. A few weeks later, he found out his number has been flagged in the ongoing investigation. Not because of anything he did, but because someone in his contact was involved. He wasn't angry anymore, just thoughtful. He told me, Jerry, I realize privacy isn't about hiding. It's about choosing when to open the door. And that's the truth, isn't it? The law can protect or it can peer too far. The difference lies in accountability and in us knowing our rights. Here is my question for you. If privacy is your right, how much are you willing to trade for safety? If this made you pause even for a second, then you have already begun to see law not as fear but as freedom with boundaries. If you want to explore more stories like this, stories where law feels human, search for Jerry Joseph Legal Counsel right here on YouTube or any search platform, and you will not just find answers but perspective. Take care and see you soon. Bye.